Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ultimate Manifestation Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Grant. Hope you are doing well during this time within the world of rest, relaxation, and reset. I guess somebody told me something differently, but that is what I choose to believe, and that is what I will continue to manifest in my life, no matter what the world says, because here's the thing. As long as you understand and know what it is that you truly desire in your mirror of life, and you can bring out those feelings and connect to that truth, that's exactly what you will see in your world. And that is one of the biggest keys to manifestation. And so, which leads me into today's episode, Mastering Manifestation, the Money Miracle. And so, what's funny is you go on the internet and you can type this in. You can type in manifest money fast, right? And, it's so interesting, all the things that people will say and do to get you to think that you can manifest money fast, right? And I'm not saying that you can't, because you can, but you ultimately have to understand what is at work in doing so, right? And so, I like to call it the money miracle. And a lot of times, actually all the time, it has nothing to do with our own power, but everything to do with our ability to surrender and let go of taking control. I'll say that again. Not only being a master at manifestation, but the money miracle as well, comes down to having nothing to do with our own power and everything to do with our ability to surrender, let go, and release control. And so this can be eye-opening, because human nature suggests that if it looks like money is dwindling, if it looks like money is being dried up, so to speak, you better go balls to the wall, knocking on people's doors, finishing this, finishing that, sending this to this person, send that to that person, contacting that person to get something to manifest really quickly. And it's just not it's not the divine way to move about that, right? Because here is what you have to understand. And we're going to go spiritual here just a bit, but this is a spiritual podcast. You got to understand that there is a divine trust, a divine bounty that is rightfully yours, a divine fortune that is yours if you can activate it through faith, right? If you're able to activate this bounty through faith, then you are able to place yourself into a position to receive it at the perfect divine time, okay? A lot of times what we lose track of is we think all of a sudden God has went out to play golf when we are seemingly struggling with our finances or struggling to manifest something. We think God is just kind of like taking a nap, but in actuality, he's right there. She's right there with us, watching everything unfold, watching our reaction, giving us a choice. Are you going to trust me, the power, the greatest power in the world that's inside you? Or are you going to move in fear and try to do this all by yourself? And the most beautiful thing is that choice is freely given. It's not manipulated one way or the other, but we get to decide, right? We get to decide. And so when we take the choice to say, you know what? I am just going to trust you with every fiber of my being. It might kill me in the process, but you know what? I'm going to trust you. I'm going to have faith. And in that faith, immediately what happens is we surrender, we let go of what we feel like we need to do, and from there, a peace is created, right? A peace that resonates in what we call a 0 point energy field, right? And the 0 point energy field is basically pure potential energy where everything can be created, because ultimately money is just energy. And when you allow that energy to do what it needs to do, boom, money miracle, money manifestation, right? But when we're pressing that energy, see, because the universe doesn't move by force, it moves by flow, it moves by ease. When we're pressing that energy, all of a sudden it moves away from us. It can't alter itself to be exactly what we need or exactly what we desire. So we give that energy, when we give that energy an opportunity to shape itself and bring it into our life in perfect divine order, in perfect divine right action, then we benefit every single time. And it comes, the only way you can cash these checks, these divine checks, is through faith, right? It's having that faith to take a step back and say, you know what? From my human perspective, I have no idea how this is going to work out, but the divine knows all. The divine sees all. The divine is all. And I'm trusting right now, and I let it go, and I surrender. And then just let it go. And go out and do something to take your mind off it, and before you know it, that's when the 0 point field is cooking. Because then it has that leeway. It's all about, life is all about allowing energy to manifest itself, not manipulating energy. Right? If you find you're going too hard with something, take a step back and allow that energy to work itself into the form that you're desiring. Once you create the intention, once you come into conscious agreement and spiritual agreement that it can be done, you just got to step back and stay in peace. And it's peace, right? It's peace that allows these things to unfold in the most massive, miraculous way possible, right? One of the most important things you can do when you're looking to manifest any amount of money is set your intention and then go and do something that takes your mind completely off of it, because here's the thing. That is the greatest amount of peace you can give to that situation by not directing, the smoking eyes, so to speak, to it, and move your attention to something else, right? It works every single time, because all of a sudden you have the opportunity to become more present in the moment and more focused on yourself and not so much on what you're lacking or what you're seemingly lacking, because you're never really lacking anything. See, this pure potential field of energy tells us that everything we need, everything we desire, everything we want is present right now. It's present right now. And when we need something, when we think we need something, right? Because once again, the God in us is with us the entire time, watching everything. So she knows, it knows the need you have even before it unfolds. So it's already working towards, and you just have to allow that energy to formulate itself. See, even before a bill comes in or something unexpected comes in, the divine is already working to make sure that you have what you need to take care of that. It's already answered the call. Now, you can stop that manifestation from coming to you by getting nervous, by getting anxious, by getting upset. And that's just a lack of trust. That's a lack of faith. And lack of trust, lack of faith stops your miracles from happening. If you want to do anything, clear the negativity, clear the stress, clear the fear, clear the worry. Go straight to peace, straight to love, bask there. Keep your mind on something that will allow you to focus on anything other than what you feel like you're lacking at the time. Because the truth is we are never lacking. The only time we can ever lack is when we lack faith, we lack trust that everything's going to work out and we're going to have exactly what we need and desire, because that is God's one of his primary objectives is to allow us to be happy, to give us a life where we can flourish, to give us a life where we can create and be who we desire to be. And it's important to know these things because going into it, you're already equipped to come out victorious unless you decide to do something differently. Okay? So, in Mastering Manifestation, let's take you through a scenario real quick. As a matter of fact, I actually have a personal story I'm going to share with you that I posted on my Facebook page. Just started a new Facebook page if you want to join. It's amazing. It's talking all about money. It's called The Money Cure, Creating a Consciousness of Unlimited Abundance in Money. And it's amazing and it's terrific. You should definitely go and like it if you feel the need to. Or if you want to. Don't feel the need to, but want to be there, want to engage, want to enjoy what's being shared. So anywho, yesterday I posted on that page, you'll see, about 10, 11 years ago, there was a time where I can remember I was in church and my account was at negative $750. I had $1 to my name, which was 4 quarters. I had scrummaged up out of the change compartment of my car, 4 quarters. So as I sat in church by myself, feeling like the biggest failure ever, not having any work because work had dried up, not knowing where any of this would come from, to help me, like, I just kind of burst into tears. Not burst into tears, but I had tears coming out of my eyes. And so I felt so defeated. But I feel like, in hindsight, looking back, that I needed those tears. I needed that sense of defeat, of despair to be released through my tears. So as the offering is coming around, I decide to give 50 cents out of the dollar that I have. But there was a sense of peace when I gave this. So, I gave it. Didn't put my name on the envelope because I was so embarrassed, but, I gave what I had. And that simple act of faith, I feel like, is what moved God, what moved the universe. So, fast forward, service ends. One of my friends decides that, he wants to take me out to go to lunch. And, we have a good time and we talk about the books we like and everything else. And I just had the most amazing time. It just took my mind off of everything. And my meal was paid for. It was a time where I could really be at peace and be present and enjoy myself. And then literally right after that, my mom hands me a check for $800, right? And to show you how crazy I was at the time, I was like, well, it's only $750 that I'm in the hole with. She's like, well, the extra is to keep the whammy off you. That's what she used to say, like, so you won't have the broke whammy on you, the zero in your account. So that happened, and I felt like the richest person alive because I had demonstrated faith, and then unknowingly, but still, in the act of it, allowed myself to open that channel for that to come, right? And the funny thing is, I didn't have to tell her anything about it. That's how I knew, like, the universe is working on my behalf because I didn't have to say a thing about it. And I got even more than what I had needed. And so that lesson in itself taught me that the divine is always attempting to give us more. It not only wants to meet our needs, but it's always willing to give us more. We just have to believe that and trust in that and have that faith, and that can happen, right? Because once again, faith cashes the divine checks, right? Faith cashes the checks of truth, and it allows you to step into that energy field. Well, I mean, you are the energy field. It allows that energy field to create whatever it needs at the moment, right? So if you find yourself, you're faced with something big and you need to create that money miracle, you need to create, or allow rather, because it's already here. That's the beauty of it. A certain amount of money to come into your life. You know how you do that? Set your intention for it. Set your intention for it. Give thanks. Act as if it's already done now. Come into conscious agreement that the Bible says, all of my needs shall be met according to God's riches and glory, right? And all that means is that all my needs are met because this pure potential energy field possesses every single thing that I could ever need and desire in my life. That's all it says metaphysically, right? That's what it means. It's already here. Whatever you need is already here. So in knowing that, I give my thanks, I give immense gratitude, and then I take a step back. And I go and focus on something that keeps my mind off of it. And I guarantee you, whatever you need will manifest at the perfect time. At the perfect time. And all you have to do is have a small amount of faith to trust that it will happen and to listen and be open to how it happens. But this pure potential energy is always working to bring us our needs, our desires, whatever it is that helps us to live our very best life. Don't ever forget this. Always know it's always working, right? Anytime you feel stagnant energy, you know what? Shake it up a bit. Go run, stretch, move your energy around, because as long as your energy is on point, you're in alignment with the field, right? You're in alignment with that field, and you can manifest whatever it is that you need or desire at the moment. Guys, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. We will talk soon next time. Take care. Bye-bye.